Hi, everybody. I'm back with another part to my story. I know it's been a while, but I was away and, life just be lifing. But I want to move forward in talking about something else. For now, I'm going to put on the back burner the reasons why I filed for divorce and the things that happened once I filed for divorce, those intimidation tactics and things that I was telling you all about. And I want to talk about a friend of his that he introduced me to, and a friend that I known from like the entire duration of this relationship. So I promise y'all it might start off a little slow, but it's all going to come back full circle and it's going to be wild. Mind y'all, this friend is about a couple years older than my oldest daughter, who she's 26 now. So at the time when I met him, I want to say this person was probably like 19. Was it? When I met the friend, she was probably like 19. My ex introduced this person at a barbecue. He introduced him to me at a barbecue. He took me to his friend's house, and he so happened to be a relative of his friend. When I got there, I met like their whole family. He's been knowing these people since they were like middle school, since he was in middle school. So this friend that he introduced me to, in particular, he's known him his entire life. All right, so everything was fun. We had a great time at the cookout. I want to say that next fall, this person graduated from high school or went off to college. I remember the kid went off to college on a sports scholarship, and my ex stepped up and was doing the absolute most. He was doing the absolute most, buying everything. That night we spent the evening. That night he gave me a shopping list to go to the supermarket. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to the supermarket. He gave me a list. It was chicken, water, cases of water, like mad chicken, water, brown rice. He spent the entire night grilling and cooking and packaging all this stuff. We drove 2 states down to take this stuff to college for this kid. And I'm like asking him, like, why are you the one doing all this stuff? And of course, he had to tell me how the kid's family is broke and they don't ever do anything for him. And they don't ever have no money, and it's 4 adults living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they always screaming broke and blah, blah, blah. He just was bad-mouthing these people that he introduced me to. That was his thing. He would do that about people all the time. So we get down there, we take this kid all this stuff, fine. Another time, I remember it was getting cold. It was getting cold. This kid had gotten transferred to a school like north, not in Jersey, it was a different state, but it was up north, and it was a rural area, so he needed transportation. So my ex talked me into giving this kid my car because my car was paid for. And so he was like, all right, what if you give him his car because he needs a ride or whatever to get around? I'll just get you a new car. I ain't going to say no to that. So that's what I did. Of course, the car got totaled like 2 weeks later, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just going to list off some of the things that my ex was doing and things that I was noticing about this friend. And it was always, he's just a good kid. I just want to help him out. His family, I've known him my whole life, blah, blah, blah. And I took it for what it was. What else happened? There was one time when after he moved up there, the winter, it was getting cold. And he told me that, this person needed a coat. He needs some winter clothes. It's getting real cold up there. It snows really bad. Gave me his credit card. I'm at the mall shopping. I bought the kid, a Nike bubble coat, a couple other things, just like gloves and hats and things like that. But I'm not, I bought the stuff, gave it to him. I don't remember if he shipped it or if he drove up there. I don't remember, but I do remember buying the stuff. And again, it was just because his family couldn't afford it. They'll never do shit, blah, blah, blah. There was another time where he needed sporting equipment. The kid needed sporting equipment and their family couldn't afford it. It was like $700. He told me he wasn't going to pay for it because we had gotten into an argument about it and about, like I said, you always penny pinching and telling me what I can and can't buy, but you can't, you don't have to jump and help him do everything. Of course, he went and bought the stuff behind my back. I found out later that he did buy all the equipment for him. And so this is the same person who ended up moving into our house. We had a fully furnished basement. I think I mentioned that before. And he had a friend that moved into our house. This was that same person. By now, I want to say this person was probably about 24, 25 or something like that. One thing about this person used to piss me off, but he was a great guy. He was super nice, super respectful. But the only thing that used to drive me nuts is there was a lot of girls, a lot of women in and out all the time. So I had to tell, you know, my ex, like, you cannot have women coming in and out of our house like that. You got to say something to him, which he did. First, he was like, oh, he young, he just having fun, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, it was like, no, this is getting out of control. So it did stop. And the person ended up finding like one girlfriend, and she would come over all the time. One Christmas in particular, okay, backtrack. Every Christmas, I did all the shopping. I did the shopping for my family, the kids, him, his family, all of the in-laws and everything. I did the shopping. The only time he went out Christmas shopping is when he bought stuff for our house, you know, me and the kids. He always bought my oldest daughter, who isn't his daughter, a gift every year. This year, while this guy is living with us, we're all, you know, Christmas, the kids are excited. We're opening up presents and everything. And my daughter, who had, you know, she has a little job or whatever, she bought him, she bought my ex a really nice Adidas tracksuit with matching sneakers. She bought him a robe. She bought him a Michael Kors watch. And so we're all trading gifts and everything. And I remember she bought me a Michael Kors watch as well. And she bought me these green furry slippers. Those are going to come back later. Remember those green furry slippers. So, sorry my story got cut off because I slipped up and, you know, said some detail that I didn't want to say. But my daughter ended up getting me these green slippers. I want you to remember these slippers because these slippers are going to come up again. All right. So another thing was, while this man was living with us, he lived there for, I don't even remember, I want to say off and on for like a couple years. Rent-free, mind you, rent-free. He never gave us anything. And during this time, he was done with school. He didn't graduate or anything, I don't think, but he was, you know, working and making a substantial amount of money, but living there rent-free. And at the time, my daughter was getting a little older, so we were having her pay like $300 a month in rent. Because this man had been living with us for so long, and I'm asking you to like get some extra money from him, since you always complaining that we're so tight for money, but you won't make him pay any rent. And it was like, oh, I don't want to do anything for him. I don't want to seem like his family. Like, all I want is money from him, and I just want to help him out, and I just want, you know, I don't want to be that guy. So since you ain't asking this grown man for rent, then my daughter's not giving us nothing else then. So we just gonna have to, it's just gonna be you and me. So I just thought that was weird that he was just doing so much for this person. And the whole time, like I said, oh, and Christmas, when we were exchanging gifts and my daughter was buying, you know, everybody all this stuff, and she got stuff for her brother and sister, this man didn't get anybody anything, not even the babies. The babies got nothing. The kids got nothing. I got nothing. He got nothing. It was just like, oh, because my ex-husband ended up buying him a juicer, I can't remember, a robe, some slippers. He bought him a nice substantial amount of stuff, and the boy was super thankful, but he had nothing for nobody else. But and so this is where I was going with this. My daughter got so mad, she just got up and walked off, because I'm looking like, we get to the end of the pile of the gifts and there's none for her. I'm like, so I pull him to the side. I'm like, where's her gift from you, my oldest daughter? Oh, I thought you had that. I thought you I said, are you serious? You buy her a gift every year. Yeah, I got her a gift from me, but you usually get her a gift too. Oh, I just assumed that you handled that. Mind you, my daughter was crushed. Like, I can't remember what happened with that. I think she was like crying, and like she saw it. It was terrible. And so me and him had a whole big blow up about that, and he swore up and down he'd make it up to her, which I don't remember if he did or not. But the crazy part about it was like just all the overstepping and all the things that you would do for this man. So I'm gonna stop right here for now, and I'm gonna post the reason why I wanted to talk about this in my next video. So I know I'm gonna have to stay ready once I tell the next part of this, because it's a lot and it's very overwhelming. But you can't make this stuff up. Until then, y'all have a great evening, and just keep looking out for those red flags. Have a good night.